This video today I'm going to be comparing the Black Beauty franchise to the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy. These are two different franchises for sure, with Black Beauty of these sweet, wholesome, feel-good animal movies, specifically ones about a horse. If Olympus Has Fallen, it's about this big attack on the White House by Koreans that ends up actually succeeding. So, like, the president's taken hostage. This one Secret Service agent, Mike Banning, is trying to save the day. It's clearly not a realistic movie. That's should be very obvious right away, because if you take even a moment to stop and think about it, to think about how likely is it that a group could take over the White House like we see in this movie, you realize, yeah, actually, this kind of thing is very unlikely to happen in real life unless somehow there was a bunch of traitors in the Secret Service, which I don't think has ever happened before, and doesn't seem like that's very likely whatsoever. I mean, even just simply the idea that, like, helicopters, gunships could even somehow get close to the White House, you go, yeah, that's not realistic at all. The movie's clearly not in any way trying to be realistic. I think it works as just a solid action movie. It's not like the best movie ever made. It's not trying to be particularly deep, but I mean, it works, I'd say, as a solid thriller about this one Secret Service agent that's trying to defeat all these bad guys so he can save the good guys. So I haven't seen London Has Fallen or Angel Has Fallen. When it comes to Black Beauty, I'm familiar with this franchise because I used to own the 1994 movie on VHS tape back when I lived in New York, or several other movies I owned on VHS tape at the time. Air Bud is an example of that. I actually talked about this franchise in a recent video. When it comes to the highest Rotten Tomatoes score for each franchise, with Olympus Has Fallen trilogy, the highest score is only a 50% for Olympus Has Fallen. With Black Beauty, the highest score is a 74% for the 1994 movie. Black Beauty wins. Then when you look at lowest score, in the case of Black Beauty, the 2020 movie, which unfortunately got removed from Disney Plus. So now in order to find it, you have to track down DVD copy of that movie or try to find some shady third-party site online that would allow you to watch it. That movie has a 48%. With that other trilogy, London Has Fallen only has a 28%. So Black Beauty wins again. Then when you look at average score, Black Beauty has an average score of 58, whereas the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy has an average of only 38. Black Beauty wins again. Then when you look at gap between lowest and highest score, in the case of Black Beauty, highest score 74, lowest score 48. So that's a gap of 26. With Olympus Has Fallen, lowest score 28, highest score 50, so gap of 22. Gap's a little bit smaller for Olympus Has Fallen, so it does win this round, but already Black Beauty is going to win this debate regardless of my personal opinion. But let's look at it now. These are two franchises that I'm not particularly familiar with, only a little bit familiar with. In the case of Olympus Has Fallen, things I've heard about London Has Fallen has made me go, ooh, yeah, I don't want to watch that one. That doesn't interest me at all. There's things about it that just seem to me to be in really poor taste, like being openly xenophobic, painting the war on terror in irresponsibly black and white terms. What I'm talking about here is the movie literally starts off by showing you that U.S. drone strikes are what led to these terrorists trying to kill all these world leaders. And yet the movie doesn't in any way, shape, or form afterwards address the fact that it was U.S. drone strikes that started this all in the first place. It led to this big attack that caused many deaths as well as property damage. And also, the movie actually makes Mike Banning, our supposed hero, out to be more aggressive, more vicious than the terrorist he's fighting against, which almost makes you want to root for the terrorist when our main hero is portrayed in such a negative light, where the movie flat out shows him committing war crimes. I'm like, ooh, yikes, that's just some flat out offensive. stuff right there. Like, okay, I'm not going to watch that film. With Angel Has Fallen, to be honest, I haven't really heard anything about this movie. So I don't know about this one. I mean, it's probably another just a it's another not fantastic action movie. That's the guess I would have, but I don't really know what Angel Has Fallen is about. I haven't really watched any videos about this movie at all. Now, in the case of Black Beauty, while I did used to own the 1994 movie, I've seen it before. I haven't rewatched it anytime recently, so I don't really remember a lot of the details. I remember, generally speaking, that it's telling the story of this horse's life, the different owners of this horse, what the horse experienced, but other than that, I don't really remember much. And I haven't seen the other versions of Black Beauty. So, what this really comes down to for me is a question of which, for one, which movie is better, 1994 Black Beauty or Olympus Has Fallen? You know, so when it comes to the other movies, which ones am I less interested in? Honestly, I would choose the Black Beauty franchise, for one, because of nostalgia, but also I like sweet, wholesome, feel good animal movies. Black Beauty is very much my thing. I mean, I like action movies as well. I haven't necessarily watched a ton of them, but I certainly have nothing against a straightforward, more simple action movie. Well, because of what I talked about with London Has Fallen, and I haven't really heard anything at all about Angel Has Fallen, I go, yeah, I'm more interested in the Black Beauty franchise than I am with the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy. That'll be it for this video.